at Ochsner Baptist, the safety of our patients, our employees, even our visitors and families, very important to us. So we ask that when you do have people come to visit you, that they stop at our visitor center. We have some located on the first as well as the second floor. Once they're there, they show their ID and they'll be given a badge. That badge has their picture on it and it's good for 1 day. So every time they come see you, they are to get another badge. When they come up to the 6th floor to our mother baby unit, they'll find that door is locked. Well, there's a phone right by the locked door. They pick up the phone and they tell the nurse or the secretary who they are here to see. They need to know your name that our computer knows. And they also need to know the room where you're staying. For your safety, we won't be giving out that information, so make sure that they can text you and find out what room you're located in. We have security cameras all over our unit, constantly filming and reviewing for the safety of all of you. Visiting hours at Baptist are 8 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night. However, we've also built in something called quiet time because we know how tired you are during the day. So between 2 o'clock in the afternoon and 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we ask that all your visitors go home. It's time for you, your partner, the baby, the whole family gets some rest and do some bonding. Now, we do allow a support person to be with you that whole entire time that you're here. And we actually encourage that. That support person does need to be an adult, and they can spend the night if they like. If you have other children at home, I have to tell you, children are not allowed to spend the night. So make sure that you make arrangements for them so that you can get some good rest here at the hospital. We know that this is such a special time for you and your families. We want to make sure that we're providing you with an environment that's calm and healthy so you can rest and recuperate. If any visitors should become disruptive, we will have them removed and they will not be allowed to come back again. We want to make sure that our team is focused on the care that you deserve and keep everyone safe. When you get to the mother-baby unit, we're going to put this security band on the baby's ankle. It's one of the ways that we prevent infant abduction. If anybody would take your baby beyond the perimeters of our unit, the hospital literally goes on lockdown. Elevators don't work. I make sure I tell you this because the band is extremely sensitive. If you manipulate it or adjust it, it'll go off. So please, if you think it's too loose or it's too tight, don't do it yourself. Call your nurse. She'll deactivate it, make the needed adjustments, and then turn it back on again. We'll take it off just before you go home after discharge. While you were on labor and delivery, we put 2 identification bands on your baby, one on the foot, one on their arm. They match identically, but there's 2 other identical matches as well. One band is for you, Mama. The other one is for your significant other. If we would need to take your baby out of the room at any time, when we return the baby, we'll match baby's bands with yours to make sure everything matches. Now, those are to stay on the whole time your baby and you are here in the hospital. If at any time one would slip off, make sure you tell your nurse we need to put it in a safe place. Before you go home, those bands will be matched and make sure everything's identical before you're discharged home. To improve the safety for our babies, we do rooming in. That means you and your baby won't be separated. Your baby lives here in the room with you. And whenever a doctor needs to come in or a technician needs to run a test, they do that right here in front of you. Now, if we would need to take the baby out of the room for any reason, the person that's going to come pick up your baby will be one of us. You know that because when you look at our IDs, we have pink around our photographs. That means it's a person who works in the labor and delivery mother-baby unit. We'll take them out inside of the baby's crib. We never bring babies down the hallway holding them, just in case we would slip or fall. So for the safety, they're always in the crib. When we return the baby back to you, we'll check those identity bands to make sure they match. One of the few items we do allow to be in your baby's crib is a bulb syringe. This is handy in case there's some excess secretions in the baby's mouth we need to get rid of. So if you see your baby kind of coughing a little bit and some fluid coming out of his mouth, don't panic. Reach for the bulb syringe. It's very easy to use. Make sure your baby is on his back. Put your hand on top of his head to stabilize it, kind of turn his head off to the side. Take your thumb and press the bulb syringe down. Put the bulb syringe in the side of his mouth where that fluid is puddling. Slowly let it go as you pull the bulb syringe out. That will remove the fluid that's causing the problem. Then with a little tissue, swoosh it a couple of times to get those secretions from the inside. Then with a cup of clean water, make a couple of swishes to clean it out, and then it just air dries. We encourage you to do frequent skin to skin. I know you probably did it when you were in labor and delivery, but let me remind you of those benefits. When you get that brand new baby and you put it on mom's bare chest, well, baby hears mama's heart rate, gets calm. Mama, you bond with your baby. Some other things are because baby is calm, baby's breathing, heart rate, all of that is better. And baby keeps warm from your body heat, so I don't have to worry about your baby getting cold. It makes breastfeeding easier. Well, when breastfeeding goes easier, then I'm less worried about your baby having low blood sugar episodes. So we encourage skin to skin frequently here at the hospital as well as when you go home. But I want to make sure that you do it safely. And positioning is the key. Mama, you should kind of be reclining at about 30 to 40 degrees. Baby should be vertical with the head turned. We should always be able to see the baby's nose and mouth. And we encourage you to have another adult there in the room watching the process to make sure that we can always see the baby's nose and mouth and that you don't get too sleepy, because you cannot fall asleep with the baby in your arms. The safest way for your baby to sleep is on his or her back inside of the crib. And inside that crib, we don't want a lot of extra items. You are not allowed to have pillows, stuffed animals, toys, no extra blankets covering the baby. Just the baby swaddled with a hat on his or her head. This helps reduce the risk for SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome, and other sleep-related deaths. Now, it's very important that you never fall asleep while you are holding your baby. That goes for family members on the recliner or on the sofa. If anyone holding that baby starts getting sleepy, their eyelids start getting heavy, please put that baby in the crib to make sure they're in the safest environment for sleep. For safety of our moms and our newborns, we'll be rounding on you quite frequently. Your nurse or your PCT or another staff member will be coming in to visit you every hour during the day and every 2 hours at night. If you ever need us when we're not in your room, just call us. We all carry phones, and we've written our phone numbers on your whiteboards. All of these measures that we have discussed were designed to successfully keep you, your families, our employees safe while you're here at the hospital.